What if the greatest evil in a world of magic and ancient heroes wasn't born of chaos, but of a twisted desire for perfection? What if the very land of shadow, Mordor, had a beginning far more complex and chilling than you ever imagined? Prepare to journey back, long before the One Ring was lost, to uncover the untold origins of the Dark Lord Sauron and the forging of his dreaded realm. Before the very stars were set in their courses, there was Mairon, a spirit of the Ainur, born of the thought of Ilúvatar himself. He was a being of immense power and intellect, a craftsman of unparalleled skill, initially devoted to order and precision. He served Aule, the great smith of the Valar, learning the profound secrets of creation and the shaping of the world. But within Mairon's heart, a subtle seed of ambition began to sprout, a desire not just for order, but for absolute control. This yearning for absolute dominion drew him to the mightiest of the Valar, Melkor, who would become known as Morgoth, the first Dark Lord. Mairon, seduced by Morgoth's raw power and his promise of a swifter path to impose order upon the chaos of Arda, abandoned his true name and became Sauron, the Abhorred. For countless ages of the First Age, he served as Morgoth's most cunning and cruel lieutenant, a master of deception, sorcery, and fear, orchestrating many of his master's atrocities. When Morgoth was at last cast into the outer void, the world breathed a sigh of relief. But Sauron, though defeated, was not destroyed. His spirit, immense and unyielding, lingered. He saw not an end, but an opportunity. The world was now his to dominate. He sought a place, a stronghold, where his will could be absolute, where shadows could truly take root. And he found it in a land already scarred by ancient evils, a land brooding under a perpetually ash-laden sky, Mordor, the Black Land. This was not a land of beauty, but of raw, untamed power, born of the world's primal convulsions. At its heart stood Orodruin, the fire mountain, later known as Mount Doom, a forge of immense natural power. Here, in the early years of the Second Age, Sauron began to build his monument to fear. Barad-dûr, the Dark Tower, stone by agonizing stone, forced from the very earth, it clawed its way towards the heavens, a sentinel of his growing might. From its foundations, his shadow began to spread. To populate his new domain, Sauron gathered the scattered remnants of Morgoth's monstrous armies, orcs, trolls, and fell beasts. But his true genius lay in deception. He took on a fair and alluring form, calling himself Annatar, the Lord of Gifts. He journeyed among the free peoples, particularly the elves, offering knowledge and aid. He taught the elven smiths of Eregion to forge rings of power, magnificent artifacts imbued with immense magic. But secretly, in the fires of Mount Doom, Sauron forged the One Ring, a master ring to bind them all, pouring into it the very essence of his will, his malice, and his desire to dominate all life, binding them irrevocably to his dominion. With the One Ring on his finger, Sauron's power became almost limitless. He openly declared himself, and the fair guise of Annatar fell away, revealing the terrifying Dark Lord. From the newly forged gates of Mordor, his armies poured forth, a tide of darkness intent on engulfing Middle-earth. This was the true beginning of Mordor as the world would come to know it, not just a land, but the very heart of Sauron's burgeoning empire, a testament to his relentless will and the untold story of his rise to ultimate power, a shadow stretching across the ages.